Hey guys, what's up? Look, before we get into today's episode of What's the Right Shot, I could really use your help. I want to reach a lot more tennis players out there by growing my YouTube channel. Look, we're currently at 16,000 plus subscribers, and I could use your help to get us to 25,000 subscribers in the next 45 days. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to leave a comment or question at the end of today's episode. Like the video, and then be sure to share it with your tennis friends. Look, thanks so much in advance. Really appreciate your help. Now, let's dive into today's episode of What's the Right Shot? Guys, what's up? Hey, what's going on out there today? Yeah, Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of What's the Right Shot. Yours truly with the return to serve and one of my all-time favorite partners, Frank Zebo, on the move here with the poach off of my return. And look, lots of times, best laid plans, you poach, you move, you're in pretty good shape, but the server in this case has handled it, right? To where now you don't really have a lot of geometry if you're the poacher, right? Geometry meaning that you've gotten stretched out a little bit, but also the ball's pretty low, right? And too often the mistake that I make is players think, well, I got to go at that server's partner. And if you do that, obviously what's going to happen here, assuming that they're going to be able to make a play on it, the area of the court you just vacated is now wide open. So the shot choice becomes, all right, I don't have the geometry to go for any kind of a winner, right? Which might be in the middle because the ball's too low. Couldn't really, maybe you could nudge it into the alley here, right there in front of us, but that's really a tough shot. So the shot choice now becomes, let's play this thing back low and buy some time. And as Frank's partner, right, I see all of this sort of getting organized here where I got to cover where he was. I think Frank's intention here was thinking he's really going to be able to carve this really wide into that alley. Okay, that's not bad. Doesn't really get there. So I got to cover, right? And here we go. So that's really what, I'm going to show you the rest of this point, obviously, but look, I want you to be on the move. I want you, when your returning partner plays a low return, I want you to be thinking about moving from time to time, often enough to where you make this tricky half volley even tougher. Of course, we're talking about the great Brian Cheney there, server. He handled that thing really well, right? But I want you to be on the move. And look, there's going to be times when you got to play this thing that's down low. No great geometry. Play it low and slow, back cross court, and try to buy some time for you guys to get set up. So I'm just going to pick this thing up and end up playing it back cross court. And now, what's the right shot, right? Frank and I are both back in the baseline. Our opponents are up at net. And my thought is, look, let's just play a lob over the backhand, right? Let's play a lob over the backhand. And if it gets really deep, great. If not, it's not an overhead. It's to the backhand. And actually, this ends up probably better than what I'd intended. And Frank and I are now both thinking, okay, well, maybe we should start moving in. And good lob. And Frank just goes ahead. And he's got one of the better senior masters overheads. And there you have it. So let's take this from the start. I'm going to play this in real time. We'll kind of work our way through it. But again, your partner hits a good return like this, be looking to move, and over the backhand, and there you go. Let your partner take it, bang. All right, guys, look, what we're working on today in today's episode of What's the Right Shot, the members only, we're working on swing tech. And one of the things I want to work on here is going to be the overhead, which is this shot right here. And I've got some ideas for you in terms of how to not only be able to play it in the direction you want, but play it with some power to be able to get it right there between the two players. That is in the members only Swing Tech version today. If you've not yet joined, there's a join button right down below if you're on desktop. If you're on mobile, there is a link in the description area where you can get signed up for the members only premium version of today's episode of What's the Right Shot. Turns out to be less than $1 an episode, and there you have it. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hope this has been helpful. Look, just like I said in the beginning, if you've not yet already done so, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment or question, whatever's on your mind. Like the video and be sure to share it with your tennis friends. And as always, it's time. We got to get out there. Help someone else have a great day. Guys, I will see you again next time.